Let's play a game of Let's Imagine. I want you to imagine that you leave your home country. You go to another person's country. Just show up. Take your bags, take your shoes. Maybe you don't even have any shoes or any luggage. And then you get there. You don't speak the language of the people there in the country. And you may have lied to get over there. Said that somebody was trying to kill you, but really, you just wanted to go there and work. Then you get there. And then, well, you're uncomfortable because people don't understand your language. They don't understand your way of life. They don't understand what you're doing. And then you start demanding things like this.
We are having a hearing censoring the experiences of Black immigrants in New York City. And if you are not overwhelmed by the beautiful Black faces that are present here today and surrounding City Hall, something is profoundly wrong with you.
All right, now I'm gonna get back to this particular news clip a little bit later. This is Fox News, as we know. But let's get back to the main point. We have our brothers and sisters in the Pan-African world, some of them coming from West Africa, some from Haiti, and I've seen some brothers maybe from Nigeria there in the background. They are pretty much upset with the Black immigrant experience. They're not being treated fairly well. They want more stuff, they want more rights, and they want more resources. So the young lady that you were seeing there from Turning Point USA, the Hispanic lady, she went into more detail. She was talking to those migrants and things like that, and she noticed something. You probably heard her. It's mostly men, African or Haitian men, who are coming there. Very few women, right? And again, this is normal. Most people, when they migrate, the men come there first. They come there looking for work, and the crimes, if they're going to be committed, are going to be committed by those men. Now, she went and started trying to interview or recording those guys, and it didn't really work out so well. Let's check it out.
I am surrounded right now by hundreds of illegal immigrants from New Guinea and also from Haiti, all right? So majority single men from Africa. We have been told as American citizens that all of these people are coming into our country because they are seeking asylum, but every single migrant that I've spoken to today has talked about how they are here simply to work.
Joining me now, Savannah Hernandez, Frontlines reporter for Turning Point USA. Savannah, well, these are economic migrants. These are not refugees, and we all know that. That's just ludicrous. But what else did you find?
Well, Laura, I went and I spoke to a lot of these people as well as I could, many of them speaking French. But what I found is that they were here to plead with the city for more resources. The same thing that we find every single time when we come to New York. More migrants, more people asking for handouts. I was at one of the local NGOs, and one of the most shocking things that I've discovered this trip is that not only are they giving these migrants free tickets throughout the entire United States, but also around the world, because that is how desperate New York is getting to get these migrants out of their city. But because it is such a nice setup here, right, with the sanctuary city, free hotels, free food, free daycare, free medical care, they want to stay here.
Well, some of the illegals did not appreciate you one bit, Savannah. Watch.
Miss, don't do that.
I'm sorry, but this is the United States. We have the First Amendment here. We are allowed to actually film. Okay, well, you don't get to tell me what I can and cannot film. You guys are out here in public today. So, welcome to the United States of America here. Where are you guys from? Where are you from? Where are you from? No, nobody wants to talk to me about where you guys are from?
So I'm going to deal with that in just a second. So remember in Queens, we had a situation where a Senegalese man had a lot of men inside of his furniture store.
The mayor spoke shortly after news broke that dozens of migrants have been living in this furniture store on Liberty Avenue in South Richmond Hill, Queens. City officials issued a vacate order for the building after neighbors complained.
I see bikes in the back. That's when I got alarmed.
As you can see, he was just giving out some jackets to the guys.
Ibu Sar, the owner of the furniture business, shared this video of what the living conditions inside looked like. He is himself a West African immigrant, like many of the 74 men he says he was housing. He says he was simply trying to help them.
Get on their feet. So that was the intention. They're all working. Yeah, I'm proud of them.
Again, more men. And it's another guy that believes that these migrants should get rights and resources. And so now you're hearing a campaign of people saying, hey, listen, these are black migrants, these are black immigrants. It sounds very similar to like the same verbiage you would hear attached to the African-American power struggle, the pro-black community and all of that. And let me just say, because I am a Pan-African and because I am black, I would be more sympathetic to the needs and wants of the other brothers in our black diaspora. But I gotta be real. Fast forward. Your boy's been here now since 7 years, on and off in Uganda. And I could try to say that I'm somewhat of a migrant, not a asylum migrant, but I did move from one place to another to seek a new opportunity out for myself. And there are some things that I believe that as an African American, I deserve. Like, for one, I was taken from Africa, West Africa, in the history of the slave trade. Me and my family, we got cut off from our languages, or who we know, and some of us may have been mixed up with different type of tribes and different countries and things like that. But ultimately, we may have one tribe or one, particular country that we resonate with the most. And all of that lifeline has been cut off. You come back here to Africa and you're still fighting for stuff like this.
Weighing in on the ongoing debate on automatic citizenship for descendants of those enslaved in the New World, the outspoken politician says all African diaspora returnees who are resident in the Gambia should be accorded citizenship status. Juliet Ryan also supports automatic citizenship for African diaspora returnees.
For us diasporans to really be Gambian, to really be African. So our ancestors were taken in slavery. So I have Gambian DNA. My DNA says I'm Gambian. I might speak with a British accent, but I'm Gambian.
That's right, citizenship. I've been here in Uganda. We have the Kinganda YouTube channel. We've done some amazing things here, trying to do more here, right? But even though Uganda is not my home of origin, it wouldn't be different if I was in Nigeria, if I was in Sierra Leone, if I was in Ghana. I still wouldn't be making probably that much progress. And what would that country tell me? No, we don't owe you anything. Like, who are you to demand for any resources? And I would have to say the same thing goes for these guys, unfortunately. First of all, I gotta be honest, West African migrants or immigrants or any African immigrants, they decided they wanna come there, right? If you decide you wanna come to the United States or Canada or the UK, I don't know why that place owes you anything when you decided you wanted to come. It'd be very similar to me saying West Africa or ECOWAS owes me something, which I would have more of an argument for that. And the reality is that they don't. When you come to any place, you come there to compete or die. Nobody owes you any resources, especially when people pay their own tax money. Let me just give you an example and paint the picture. Me coming into Uganda, right? Let's say I leapfrog the system and get citizenship, or I'm able to, get free housing here, but let Ugandans pay for it. And if they found out, I can guarantee you, I would not be able to walk outside because there'd be a lot of people there with machetes and sticks waiting on me. And you know what? They'd be right. Because why? Well, it's their money. It's their money, right? And when I see the African Americans that have issues with this in Harlem, like one lady says she can't even go down a certain street anymore. Remember that?
The pastor says many are uncomfortable with the new faces.
I don't go to 116. I used to go to 116. I avoid that area at all costs.
Like Anita Elam, who has lived in Harlem for decades.
It's overwhelming. It's scary, but it is what it is.
Why are you scared?
I don't know them. It's just a lot of them. They're just all over the place.
I get what she's trying to say. And the reason why is because I can't come to Africa and make those demands at all. And I have more of a right to make those demands than these guys do coming to America. And I can understand what you're going to say. America destabilizes everything. It destabilizes, Africa. And I get all of those things. But still, as a human being, there are people who are doing well in that same country that didn't have to leave. There are people who figure out a way for themselves, and we have to all be adults. I think that it's very immature for somebody to come to a country and start demanding that somebody pay for them to stay in that country. And then once you get a leg up in that country, some of those individuals will then start to call somebody else lazy. Now, again, I'm not talking about the African immigrants that have come over in the right way. Sure, we have brothers and sisters that they came over, got a visa lottery, their family paid for them to go to school, and they worked hard and all of that. I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about immigrants like that of any color. For somebody to come over as an economic asylum migrant and then demand that somebody take care of you, like, what are you talking about? Like, that is so sickening to me. And if they were to get hostility from anybody, any American, including people from the African American community, I could understand that. Because if I do the same thing here, what am I gonna get? A lot of fucking hostility. And it will be well deserved. Do you know what Ugandans always say whenever I want to complain? This is Uganda. Okay? This is Uganda. Wanna know what that means inherently? If you don't like it, you should get the fuck out. That's what that means. All right? Like, it's gonna be like that. You have to deal with it as it came. We didn't ask you to come here. You need to deal with it. And you know what? They're right. If I'm gonna come here, I need to deal with whatever it is I gotta deal with in order for me to stay here. The same goes for these men, these African men, these Haitian men. Many of them who could or who could not have a criminal record or a past, we don't know. All right, I'm just saying, we don't know what they were doing in those countries, okay? So then to sit there and say that somebody demands to give you housing when you're an economic migrant, nobody owes you anything. It's a risk. It's almost like you fail in business and then you expect a bailout, but nobody owes you anything in business or a bailout. And there's some lines that must be drawn here when we're talking about this. Now, again, I have more sympathy towards the blacks, but at the same time, gotta pull your own weight up, all right? And I know that they've come so far to make this happen for themselves, and hopefully things can work out in their favor. But taxpayers, especially African-American taxpayers, are not responsible for African migrants. Just like Ugandan taxpayers or Nigerian taxpayers are not responsible for the funding of African-Americans or diaspora and returnees. They are not, and they make that very clear. So that also should be clear to them. Nobody owes you anything. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea J. Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Kinganda. I'm out.